Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. Here we have a Duesenberg. When I open the case, there's a hell of a lot of catches on these cases. Right, here we are. This model is a D52 according to the internet, or rather it's a D52 senior, P90 pickup, chambered body, quite a high-end guitar. Duesenberg have stopped making them now, so they're not on their website, but from where I can gather, when they were new, they're about $2.5 grand. This guitar belongs to my mate Andy. It's one of his main gigging guitars for his Alice Cooper cover band, $1 Billion Alice. It's got a wraparound bridge, Duesenberg's own P90. You can tell just looking at it in the case it's a high quality guitar. Right, it needs a new set of strings, and I'm going to put some lemon oil on the fretboard, and then I'll get back with it plugged in. So, here we are, back. Now, Duesenberg D52 Senior. Go over a couple of things with it. I initially thought that this had locking tuners, if I can try and get it in there. They're not locking, so I spent 5 minutes trying to turn them to realise that they're not actually locking tuners. I don't know if you can see, but the strings cut through the back. There's a hole here, and you thread the strings through the back, a bit like you do on some basses. Wrap it round. It's a good idea, and all the hardware on this guitar seems to all be Duesenberg's own in-house hardware, and it's all really good quality. The build quality on this guitar, I think it's sort of on a parallel with Paul Reed Smith and the high-end Japanese stuff that you see. It's really good, it's so solid. One P90, again, Duesenberg's own P90, volume tone and a pickup switcher. Now obviously there's only one pickup in this, so I can only think that it's some kind of coil tap, although P90 is a single coil, so I don't know how that works, or whether it's in and out of face, but we'll find out. I'm plugged into my ENGL Fireball on the clean channel. I will have a go on the dirty channel just to see what it's like. All the settings straight across the board are all on 12 o'clock. So both the lean and clean gain are both on 12 o'clock. The bass, middle and treble are all on 12 o'clock. Lead volume's on 12. The master volume is on 10, because I can't turn the master volume any higher than that in this room, because it'll just deafen everybody. The presence is on 12 o'clock, and the amp is on the low power setting. It's been mic'd up with an SM57 and been recorded into my Allen & Heath digital desk at CQ18T, I think it's called. On the floor I've got my pedal board with a polytuner, a Maxon OD9, which is basically a tube screamer. It's the original circuit of the Ibanez tube screamer. There's also a digital delay on this board, but it's not plugged in because this board's my gigging board, and I've just connected what I need to connect for today. Anyway, so here we are in the clean channel. The pickup selector all the way back. I mean, before I go on to, I'll turn this down. The quality of the hardware on it, the volume knobs, the pickup selector, it's got this really sort of Art Deco feel to it, but it's just so well put together, and the engineering on the hardware is brilliant. So yeah, sorry, I digress. Here we are, and I'm off again. There's a notch in the volume knob, so you can tell where it is. It's just fantastic. It's like everything's been thought about with it. I'll just roll off on the tone. Well, that's interesting. What I thought was the tone, I don't think it is a tone. It only moves about 1/8 of a turn. It switches between that. I've no idea what that is. It might be in and out of phase, I don't know. Okay, middle pickup selector. Yeah, it does slightly change it. All the way over. By the way, this guitar belongs to Andy from $1 Billion Alice. He's lent it me for the day, so I can just make a video with it. It's a great guitar. It's not... I've played these guitars in shops before, and I don't know if it's... The ones I've played never seem to have been set up right, or at least for me. This is set up well. The actions... It's not silly low, but it's low enough. And it to do what this kind of guitar needs to do. As far as the guitar itself, the only gripe, I won't say it's a gripe because it's not my guitar, but I wouldn't buy one of these because the neck's too wide at the nut for me. It's slightly uncomfortable, and there's not enough meat at the back of the neck to sort of fill your hand out. So I find playing it for a while it'd be a bit uncomfortable around here. If it was a bit narrower, it would be perfect, like a Les Paul Junior. I'm going to plug my Les Paul Junior in a bit and we're going to compare it. But anyway, here we are. Now I've got a tube screamer with everything on 12 o'clock. I'm going to try that, see what it's like. As you can hear from it's a very toppy guitar with this pickup. So what I'm going to do is turn the presence down to 10 o'clock. Right. In fairness, when I'm playing this amp normally, I have the presence about there anyway with my other guitars, but it's a very, I think it's a very Malcolm Youngish kind of guitar. This, if I was in an AC/DC's covers band and I was playing Malcolm's part, I think this is the kind of thing I'd use. Although I'd probably use my Junior, but you know. to see how it cleans up with the tube screamer on. Pickup's really responsive. Okay, I'm going to stick it on the dirty channel on this ENGL. I know full well that that is not what this guitar is made for, but we'll see anyway. I was just about to say that it wasn't noisy considering it's a P90 and it's on the dirty channel, but then I remembered there's a noise gate in this amp, so it's not gonna be, is it? We're an idiot, P. So yeah. See what it cleans up like. Volume on this is really responsive, and you could, I reckon, you could gig this for a whole gig of fairly varied music, you know, for your proper sort of rock that's, you know, you. To tune. Let's see. A little bit. I mean, the strings are fresh on it, so they're going to slip a bit. I mean, Andy uses this guitar a lot, and you can tell it's been used a fair bit, but you can tell it's not being battered as such. Although it's got like a battle scar on the back, but I think it's from a belt. He uses it in his Alice Cooper tribute band because there's a lot of sort of lower gain stuff in the Alice Cooper. I mean, if you watch, I think he's called Ryan Roxy, the other guitarist in Alice Cooper's band. I think Andy plays a lot of his stuff. But yeah, it's so solid, and all the hardware on it, I think it's all done in-house with Duesenberg. I always pronounce it wrong. But yeah, it's fantastic. And I think the way that they do the sort of Art Deco kind of thing, they've clearly got their own thing going on. They don't copy off other people, although this is a less Polish kind of shape. The ideas they're coming out with now, or the ideas that they're coming out with themselves are their own ideas. You know, I know they're obviously inspired by the Art Deco period, but it's fantastic. I mean, this is a rock and roll guitar, this. But again, it's a high-end guitar. It wants to be, you know. I think these were 2.5 grand new. So I think that when you're paying anywhere above £1,000 for a guitar, you need to be getting some quality, not just your... It's going to be mass produced at that money, but you know, you want to see where your money's going, and this is a, you know, the quality on this is fantastic, down to everything. Like I said, the only thing that's not really my taste about it is the neck profile. It's a bit wide up here, which I don't find comfortable, and it's a little bit shallow at the back. You know, I prefer them a bit narrower and a bit deeper, a bit like on my ESP there. Right, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe on your way out. Cheers.